everybody, this is Strategywizard and Crazycraft.
Yay!
And today we're going to be dealing with the critics on Board Game Geek of Incan Gold. We're going to be showing why they're wrong. Again, as a reminder, this was designed by Alan R. Moon, Bruno Ferduti, and it's published by Eagle Griffin Games, which I forgot to say that in the review. But that's okay. Now I said it, so that's better than nothing. So well, apparently there are people who don't like this game. I don't understand why that would be, but we're going to see what they say and explain why they're wrong. Or maybe they'll have some good points and we will discuss those.
Maybe, but probably not!
But well, either way, hopefully this will be informative and entertaining. So let's go ahead and see what they've got. So it's got a cajillion reviews. What is it, like 18,000? Yeah, 18,000 ratings on Board Game Geek for this game. So obviously a lot of people have played it. But overall, the average is around, most people gave it a 7. And then there's a lot of 6 and 8s. And then very few of everything else. So we're going to start with the 1s and see what they say. There's not many that have comments, so let's just go ahead and get started. This guy says, so bad that I forgot the primitive rules. He doesn't explain what the problem is. He says it's bad. Okay.
Yeah, that's not very...
That's not very helpful.
Specific.
This guy says, just wasn't a hit with me. Was okay with the family, but was not ever requested or was never requested after initial plays. Okay, again, not really a reason why they didn't like it, just didn't care for it. So, probably people who don't like Push Your Luck. And, if you don't like Push Your Luck, you won't like it.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and head over here.
I like Push Your Luck.
I do too.
Alright.
Here come the 2s. A filler game at best, but pretty much a dud. Now, I won't deny that in a sense it is kind of a filler. If you're a hardcore gamer that wants to play stuff like Twilight Imperium or whatever other big games, then yes, this is a filler. It's very light, very easy, kind of a family game. It's something that anybody can get into and enjoy. But but I guess that's one of those things where if a filler game or something that's simple is a problem for you, then yes, you should steer clear. But if you're like me and you like you like a wide range, you like really complicated and you also like really simple, then that's not a deterrent. Oh, I should make sure I select has comments because a lot of these people just give it a rating and they walk away without telling you why. This guy says, Incan Gold is the worst version of Celestia. I don't know what Celestia is, so I can't give an opinion there. With the only mind games being artifacts and little to no strategy. Okay, so whenever they say little to no strategy, what do you think?
I think it doesn't have much strategy.
But do you agree with them?
I don't. I think it has enough strategy with the way you have to leave sometimes, because if you find a snake, fire, and all that, you're like, maybe I should just leave, but then at the same time, you can find tons. Technically, all the other stuff could be at the bottom, so it's your risk. That's
right. That's the big strategy is even if you know you could bust on the next draw, do you want to stay in and try to keep going? But the thing is, he says, the only mind games being artifacts. That's not totally true. The artifacts, yes, they make a difference because whenever an artifact is there and 2 people or 3 people leave, no one gets it. That is where you have that mind game thing going on. But that even goes for all the treasures that are left behind. If you want to try to be somebody who gets every one of the treasures left, you should leave early. And if you think, you know what, a lot of people might leave right now, then you might go, well, I should probably stay, let them pick those treasures up. That way I can be the one who gets all the big treasures that might come up, assuming you don't bust, by yourself.
Yeah, so it's pretty strategy.
Yeah, there's
a lot of strategy.
Yeah, for a game that's,
pretty simple, too.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of control over your timing. Now, granted,
surprisingly.
But the thing is, it's a simple game. It's a super simple, so you can't expect it to be, super tactical or strategic.
Yeah.
But
so awesome! Oh, so much stuff!
Yeah, it's not going to have a ton of that kind of stuff, but it does what it does well. Now, and there's strategy that's more than what he's giving it credit for, I believe. Okay, this guy says, Incan Gold, need to try with a different group. Okay, now, like I said before, I even said that, and I'm pretty sure I said that in the review, that it's a group-dependent game. The more people you have, the better. It makes, I'm sorry, it's not more people. More people makes it different. That affects it, but what I meant to say was, having people who are engaged and really excited about what's going on makes a difference. If you have a bunch of people who are just boring, like, I'm going. Yeah. I'm still going. Okay. I'm ready to go back.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
That would take a lot of the thrill out.
Or if they're really, really boring, like, okay, let me just go. Well, I do see a snake, I'll just leave.
Yeah, that would honestly be depressing. You want people who actually are invested, they're interested, and they don't mind a little trash talk. Like, oh yeah, you better leave, you're going to get bit by that snake. I mean, you want people who are willing to get into it. That makes a difference.
Yeah, that makes it fun.
Now, this guy gives it a 2 over that. He must have had a really boring group. But
yeah.
And maybe that would really take something away, but I've never played with a group that was too boring.
Yeah,
so,
me either.
This guy says, Can't Stop has some strategic choices at least. Now, Can't Stop is a game, I don't know what that is. This one is pure luck. Boring. It's not pure. It's pure luck of the draw. That part is pure luck.
The strategy. We have proof. The strategy is right here. Leaving. Do you want to leave? Do you want to stay?
And really, and let's just be honest, the strategy has more to do with interpreting what the other players are going to do. Because the timing of you leaving versus when they leave is... That's what matters. That's where the big choice comes in, especially with artifacts, but even with all the treasure left behind. It's part of like you're trying to read the other players. Can you tell they're getting nervous and they're like, man, I need to leave. It's kind of that poker element of you don't want to give away what you're planning to do, because if everyone else can figure out what you're planning to do, then they know what's probably the best choice for them. So I just think there's more strategy than these people are giving you credit for. But you've seen how to play if you watch my review, or if you've played it yourself and you already know. But anyway, point is, I just think there's more strategy than they're saying.
Yeah, and if you don't like strategy, this is also pretty good because of luck, a little bit of luck.
Yeah, there's a good bit of luck too.
It's like 50-50 maybe.
This guy gave it 2.5. He says, this was just a waste of time. Rarely played a game this unpretentious. Maybe a party game after everyone got drunk. So basically this guy's saying that it's just 2-0, and again, it is kind of a filler. It's pretty quick, pretty simple.
Yeah.
So again, if you don't like that kind of game, don't buy it.
But it's my kind of game for sure.
Yeah. He says, a very simple push your luck game that can play up to 8 but hasn't hit the table much. Wait, play up to 8? I thought it said 6. Oh, it is 3 to 8.
Oh.
Man, 8 players? I forgot about that.
Man.
If I said 3 to 6 on the on my review, I apologize. It is 3 to 8.
Yeah.
And maybe I did say it, but maybe I just forgot. Either way.
I think you only did say 6.
I think so
you only
too.
mentioned 6.
Because 8 would be a huge game changer as far as how much money you get.
Like if you got 18, you win a piece. One. Even though it wouldn't be like that, but still, it would just be,
Even if you drew the 17, that would mean each person would get 2.
Yeah.
That'd be 16. There'd be 1 left over. Even if the biggest thing came out, you would get almost nothing, but there'd be and not much left even on the thing. But if you drew a 7 treasure would be sitting there. So, wow, that would be huge.
That would,
Boy,
man.
just thinking about that gets me excited. See, this game's great. Okay, anyway.
It is great.
Don't listen to these people.
Don't listen to that. It's morning.
This guy says, having to shuffle the deck after each tunnel removes any value for card counting and removes what little might be of interest in the game. I disagree. I mean, to me, there's card counting every time because you see, okay, you know how many of each hazard there are. There's 3 of each, unless you've already been busted by one and you've taken one out, then there's 2 of each. Or if you've gotten busted by the same thing twice, there's only 1 left, so it doesn't matter. And you also know, you can quickly learn what the distribution is of all the treasures. So you know if the 17's been out or the 14 or all the really good ones. So every time you're playing, as the cards are coming out, you're thinking, wait a second, are there still really good treasures in there? Or I know how many hazards there are. So just because you reshuffle each time you're done with a round, that doesn't, to me, take away anything exciting.
Yeah.
This guy says, is this really a game? Then he says, update, up from 2 to 4. It appears to be quite useful as party game or with kids. Then he says, update, down to 2 again. There are much better party games, and even kids find it simple. Trashed. Again, if you don't want something that's pretty simple and straightforward, then yeah, you're not going to enjoy it. But
yeah.
I don't know what to say to him because he didn't really give a lot of reasons why he doesn't like it.
Yeah, I think it's just he thinks it's too light.
Too light, too simple. But
I'm all about simple. I like simple. I don't want something like really hard. Like you do 1 million damage.
Well, that's really what it gets down to. You know, everyone has a sweet spot for how much complexity they want in their game, and honestly, this isn't my sweet spot, which is probably why I only gave this game an 8. Was there some dust around here?
Yeah, I want to cast it.
The way I look at it is, my sweet spot's higher. I want something a little more complicated. That's why I only gave it an 8, because it's not the kind of game I'm just like, oh yeah, this game's got to be on the table all the time. But I enjoy lighter games too, and this one, see, whenever I think of bad light games, I think of Uno. That's garbage to me.
It's
and Phase
so
10,
simple.
my least favorite game of all time, Phase 10. But this game, there's actually some interesting decisions, and it's the interplay of everyone else that keeps it engaging.
I haven't even played Uno, and I know I don't like it.
Trust me, it's not worthy.
Yeah, isn't that game where you just keep playing cards?
Pretty much, if you can play, you play on top, and then you skip people's turns and jump. It's just horrible. This guy says, oh my gosh, this guy, shame on him. He says, this is one of the few games I can honestly say that I hate. It's purely luck-based, and my luck is 98% bad. Well, it's not purely luck-based. It's about even bluffing. You can bluff in this game and make it seem like you're wanting to leave just to try to affect what other people do. Or you can try to make it seem like you want to stay to manipulate other people. And then you're trying to read everyone else. You're trying to decide, is this the right time to leave? Why these people say it's luck-based, it's the interplay of the whole table and everyone who's interacting with everyone.
But I gotta say, I do kind of feel sorry for him that his luck was like 98% bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you have bad luck, that can affect a lot of games. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
This guy says, pushing your luck can be an interesting sideshow. Having it be the only thing done in the game isn't too great, though. I swore I'd never play this again after the first play, but then ended up having to give it a second chance due to somebody dumping their 10-year-old stepson into the already 5-player group. And Diamant, which Diamant is another name, it's like, it's the same game. Diamant and Incan Gold, same game. He says, and Diamant was the only thing judged simple enough. The kids seemed to have fun, but I was ready to gouge my eyes out. Never again, even if it means sitting out. Now, he doesn't really explain why he doesn't like it. He just thinks that, well, other than just saying that push your luck is not fun as the only mechanism of a game. To me, push your luck is so fun.
It is fun because you're like, oh, is it going to be too garbage?
Yeah. and then this goes back to what I said in our review. If you like push your luck, you're going to like it. If you don't like push your luck, you're not going to like it. It really is that simple because that is the game. It's push your luck the game, and I like it a lot. The more I play this one, the duller it gets. There is some tension, but the game just comes down to getting out when the getting's good. And that's true. That is what it comes down to. You're trying to get out whenever you can make the most of it. And everyone can figure out when that is after a game or two. And that's not true. Man, we have gone to the point where there were only just a few cards left because for some reason most of the hazards were at the bottom. We were at risk of busting for a long time, but we kept pushing, and we got a ton of treasure. So you don't know.
Whenever we played with Zach.
Yeah, whenever we played with my cousin Zach.
I left too early.
Yeah. Crazycraft he was out. He took his treasure, and we just kept going, and it was unbelievable.
And I was just hoping, come on, Hazard, go those two, please.
Yeah, he wanted us to bust so bad. But then there was the very first time I ever played this game. I got out super early because I didn't really get the feel of the game yet, and I was guessing. I pulled out what I would consider too early, but I ended up getting the most treasure because people busted super fast. So you don't ever know for sure when it is. That's why it is so interesting because you never know the best time. Sometimes it's worth sticking it out to unbelievably long, risky times, and sometimes it's worth pulling out really quick. That's why it's always interesting to me because you never know. Yeah. So I disagree with him there. This game, skipped around. This game has not much replay value. For you end always doing the same things. It plays fast. The component quality is quite good. Even if it can be taught easily, I don't recommend it as a gateway game for it lacks the hook factor. Again, that goes back to you either like the push your luck element and the interacting and trying to read everyone else, or you don't. I do. No whammies, no whammies. Mindless. It isn't a game. It is a psychological experiment. It's a game to me, but it is psychological. Just like I said, it's about reading the table. So I agree with him on that part. Well, he says mindless. I don't agree. He says it isn't a game. I don't agree with that, but it is psychological. I had more fun removing an ingrown hair. Okay. Totally a runaway leader game. If one player makes a big haul early, might as well save yourself the effort and call it a game. The other players will dilute the gem resources so that no one else really catches up. And by the time the last guy is ready to leave the mine, ooh, whammy! Ugh, does the fun ever start? If offered a choice between playing this or having a nail pounded into my something, the serpent and the rainbow, my answer will be, where do you keep the claw hammer? This guy's basically saying that it is so painful to play that it's unbelievable. Wow. I totally disagree with him. He says, here's what I want to address, and then we're going to wrap this up. Yeah. He says the other players will dilute the... No, he said, where is it? He says, if one player makes a big haul early, you might as well basically call it a game and say they won. Okay, so let's just say in our other game, Zach gets a lot on the very first round. He gets a lot more than us. Do you think the game's over?
No.
I don't either. In fact, first of all, the more players you have, the less true that is. Because here's the thing, and this is a great example. That one time, whenever me and Zach pushed so far,
yeah.
if you would have hung in longer and pulled out quicker, I mean, held out longer, but then still pulled out before we did, you would have gotten a ton of treasure that was left behind, and you would have made a lot.
Oh.
And then if Zach would have busted, which I can't remember if he did or not, but if he would have busted and got nothing, and Crazycraft got a bunch from pulling off that kind of strategy, he could have made up a ton because he was in the lead. And that's why I was going as far as I did, because I knew I had to get a lot to force him to keep him from just running away with it. I knew I had to do something. And part of the strategy is knowing and working together actually with other players with knowing, hey, if he got a lot, we have to somehow force him to make a tough decision, either to bust or to pull out early and then we get the treasure. Now, in this particular case, Crazycraft, you get a lot of points because you're sitting here, you go out, you take all these treasures that have been left behind. Then Zach's in a situation where he has to decide, do I pull out now, or if I bust, I get nothing, and you might have gotten enough treasure to overtake him.
Yeah.
Busting means you get nothing. Other people get something. So even if someone gets a big haul at the beginning, if they bust later on, that's 0 for the round, and other people can get a bunch.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
I agree 100%.
I don't know. I feel like this guy's oversimplifying how this game works.
Yeah, I think so. Especially the ingrowing hair part.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously he's joking about, well, I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe he really hates the game that much. But to me,
it's fun.
It is fun. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got to the point where after 2 rounds, if someone got way more than everyone else, it would be very hard to beat them.
Yeah.
And then you'd have a hard time. But even then, it's not impossible. Because if you can still get a lot of treasure and they bust because they go too far, then you can make up for it in later rounds. So
definitely.
So don't give up just because somebody gets a bunch early. You can always come back and salvage it. So I think that pretty much covers. That's the 1s and the 2s, and we've already gone a long time.
Yeah.
Basically, people don't like it because they don't like
luck.
Push your luck. They don't like how simple it is, and
they think that there's not enough strategy.
So I think we disagree with pretty much all those. Of course, we like Push Your Luck.
Yeah, we do.
So the point is that, even with the luck being involved, no big deal. There's still the psychological, the reading other people, trying to bluff them, and all that kind of good stuff. So to me, that adds enough intrigue to where I stay engaged and interested.
Me too.
Good. So overall, yeah, we like it a lot. That's what they say. You have to decide, assuming that you're considering buying it anyway, you have to decide if that motivates you to not buy it, or are you still interested if you like the idea. So we appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe, and we will look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Take care, and subscribe for more videos.
Bye.
Bye. Where's my chair? My chair's gone. See? Where's my chair? No! It magically appeared. Wait a minute. Magic.
Okay, so where were we? So, we don't have the tablet in front of us. That's okay. So
blah 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 blah. I get it. So have a great day. We'll see you. Bye.